Alright guys, welcome back again to Pimp Daddy Destro, back again with another action figure review. And today we are finally going back to the Marvel Legend line. I do have a couple Marvel Legends that I have kind of sitting in the background. And one of those is the X-Men Villain 5-pack that I've been sitting on for about, I'd say 2 or 3 weeks. And I've been eagerly looking for some time to set aside to actually review these figures. And they do come with Stryfe, Pretty Boy, Random, what is this guy's name? Zero, and Vertigo, which I'm very unfamiliar with most of these characters, except for Stryfe. I do have the Stryfe from the original Toys R Us exclusive wave, from I think it was like 2014, 2013 or something like that. So I'm super eager to actually open up these and see how they look, the updated version of Stryfe and all the new characters. But this is the front of the box. As you see, very awesome box art, kind of like what we got with the Spider-Man villains and the Venom 3-pack. Really enjoy the box art that these guys do. Like I said before in the other videos, I think that you could cut this out and put it into a frame or something and just make it, on your wall. It would look totally great. On the side here, we do have some of the digital renders of the actual characters in this, as you can see from here. On the back, we have digital renders of the figures and their accessories, which this actual box set seems to be lacking in accessories. And I think it went for around $125. So $25 a figure, kind of limiting accessories. Stryfe just comes with an extra set of hands, no sword. Vertigo comes with an extra set of hands. Pretty Boy comes with the most accessories, that being 2, looks like automatic pistols with smoke effects, firing effects, and an extra set of hands to actually hold the pistols. Random comes with no accessories whatsoever. And Zero comes with the like karate chopping hands, and he comes with the little spiral, which is just a repaint of the Defender Strange portal that we got. And I actually have it, I'm using it for my Fantastic Four in the background. On the side, we do have some of the box art looks of the characters, which I just believe are cutouts of the front of the box. So guys, let's get this box open and let's get to reviewing these figures, so stay tuned. Alright guys, now that we have the X-Men 5-pack of the villains actually out of the package, boy do these guys look really popping and look great for the most part at first glance. Everything was there. I wasn't missing any items. I had all the accessories, and in this modern day of Marvel Legends and the toys and how expensive they are, make sure to look for everything, every set of hands, every smoke effect, every fire effect, whatever. Because $125 is a lot of money, but their stuff is looking pretty decent. But for $125, you gotta make sure everything's there. All right, so starting from left to right, we have Pretty Boy, Vertigo, Stryfe, Zero, I wanted to say the Spot, and Random. And this is kind of what they come with. I do have their additional accessories off screen here. But what we're going to do after this is we're going to actually go through each individual figure. So please stay tuned. All right, guys, up first we look at Pretty Boy. And this guy is basically one of the Reavers, and I know that collection is steadily building. I don't have any of the Reavers, I believe. I don't know, I might have one. But this is like an entirely new mold. As you can see, the only thing that I believe is reused is the actual arms, which I believe we've seen that on Silvermane in the Spider-Man 5-pack. He does come with 2 guns, a set of smoke effects, 2 firing effects that are green, which is really cool. I don't know if we've seen that before. We've seen the like kind of orange or blasting red color. But those are green, including the smoke effects. And then we do come with a set of hands, which I do believe these are exactly Silvermane's hands. So that's the only reused piece. But getting to the figure, he is like mainly like this gunmetal gray that is highly polished. And then he has an excellent head sculpt, which I'll be the first one to say every time that Hasbro is absolutely knocking it out of the park with their head sculpts. Looks absolutely awesome. Now, the body itself is pretty interesting. The articulation doesn't seem to hinder, even though he is kind of like a stick-looking guy. He is a robot. He does have double-jointed knees, standard arm articulation, and looks like the torso does swivel a little bit or flexes. I don't know what's going on there. But overall, really nice. The paint itself isn't bad. Some people really hate the marbling that happens on certain things, and we'll get to Stryfe. He is really bad when it comes to the marbling. But it does seem like there is some inconsistencies where there's spots where it's highly polished and there's spots where there isn't enough. And it can be a little bit distracting, but I do think this guy looks pretty cool overall. If he was a standard release, I don't know if I'd buy him for 25 bucks without a little bit more. He is the only thing I could get off Marvel.fandom is that he's one of the Reavers. He's died a few times. He's had run-ins with Wolverine, and he is trained in, firearms and stuff like that. An interesting fact that I think would be an awesome addition to this guy, and just correct me if I'm wrong, but it did say that he can actually extend his limbs by 3 times. Heck, I know we had Machine Man, I think back in 2014, come out, the Purple Machine Man. It'd be really cool if we could have gotten like an extended arm or something, I think that'd be a really nice thing to add to this. But this is Pretty Boy. Overall, a solid figure. We're going to move on to the next one, guys, so be right back. All right, our next member of this 5-pack is Vertigo. And this character looks very, very cool. I have never heard of Vertigo prior to this. She has not, from my knowledge, had another Marvel Legends release. I believe this is the first one. Kind of green, got the swirly going on. She looks like she'd be in a 70s, dance club or something like that, but I think it looks really cool. Love the green hair. This character originates from the Savage Land, which I believe, Shayna the She-Devil. What's the other? There's a couple people. I used to be really big into the Savage Land stuff, but I don't remember this character, but I am fascinated with it. But what is her ability? So she, just like Vertigo, if you ever hear someone say they got vertigo, their equilibrium's off. So she has the power to disrupt people's equilibrium and make you, lose your balance, stuff like that, which can be even to a superhero, be very debilitating. And you might wonder, oh man, she must have something cool like a power or something. No, or a head swap. She has 2 fisted hands that are very, very small. This character is a lot smaller than the other characters. This is her compared to like a normal 6-inch. This is Zero here. We haven't talked about him yet. But I believe this is on the older female buck as well. It's got the single jointed elbows, which is kind of a bummer. I almost broke the pin out of her elbow earlier, but it doesn't look bad. I do think this character will stand out on your shelf, and I do just kind of wish she had a little bit of a meaner head sculpt too. She looks a little bit too nice. I feel like if you didn't know who this was, you could mistake her for a hero. But guys, this is Vertigo, and we're gonna move on to the next one. All right, so guys, now that we have Stryfe up in front, this is kind of what this 5-pack is kind of based around. Is this character. I believe it was in like 2013 or 2012. Toys R Us had a limited exclusive series of Marvel Legends, and it was the Jubilee Wave. I actually wrote a paper on this about distribution and stuff like that in my microeconomics class. But basically, this guy was in it, and at one point he was the rarest and most expensive in-box Marvel Legends that you could get your hands on. And so what do? They decided to re-release him. But at a $125 price point in a 5-pack, of course. Hasbro would not let us have this figure in another single card. Who knows? Down the road, they might do it in a much better version or something like that. But getting to this figure, he looks amazing right off the bat. But I am easily pleased by action figures. I'm sure a lot more people are going to be more critical on this guy, specifically about the paint applications. Even for me, it's a little much. There's something like the marbling with the thighs and the shins and the boots. Almost looks like he just came out of like a pool of paint or something. He looks like really glossy. It almost looks like he's wet, kind of. But overall, the figure looks really nice. The head sculpt, Hasbro continues to knock these out of the park. The head sculpt looks awesome. Like, I mean, man, look at the definition on there compared to the other one. We'll do a size comparison here in a second. But as we know, Stryfe is a clone of Cable, and I just know he's a really big menace to some of the X-Men and stuff like that. Of course, there's no short amount of clones in the Marvel Universe, and this guy is one of the coolest ones for sure. So, the paint applications don't look bad though. But anyway, uh-oh. One of my lights just went out. Alright guys, I'm back. Man, that took a second. My ring light kind of like died out, the box that I was using, so I had to replace that. But these are the two Stryfes side by side. On the right here, you have the 2013, 2012 Toys R Us exclusive, and on the left here, you have the brand new 5-pack version. And as you can see, the differences are very, very clear. Basically the same body mold, okay? I think we can all agree on that. Paint app's completely different. This guy looks more glossy, more like he's a, you know, like a shining armor. And this guy has different paint apps, specifically in the arms, bicep, chest, upper thigh area regions. But for the most part, it's generally the same. I think the Stryfe from the 5-pack does stand a slight bit taller, and I think I remember hearing something about that, how this one on the right, he wasn't as, like, you know, tall and menacing as he should be. But one thing you can tell, obviously, the head sculpts are different. This guy from 2013 is, yeah. After you see the head sculpt on the new guy, you'll be like, you know what, I need him. But the hands are more like the open palm hands that come with the Stryfe from 2013 are kind of like claws almost, while the one that we got in the 5-pack, they look like plain hands that are just silver. So I'm going to be honest with you, whether this is comic accurate or not, I do prefer the claw hands because they look like they have more detail. And it looks like, you know, a hand that's armored. Unlike this one, it looks like a painted silver hand. Looks kind of cheap. Obviously, I haven't talked about accessories yet. We'll let him sit on the cape. But the Stryfe on the left only comes with an extra set of fisted hands that are just painted silver. They don't look like armor at all. While the Stryfe on the right here, the 2013, came with a sword, and I don't think he came with any extra set of hands back in the day. But I'll tell you this, I do wish this guy came with a sword. There's no way for this Stryfe to hold a sword unless you give him the hand, the right hand of the Stryfe from 2013, which is a bummer. And I might do that. I might switch out the hands with these guys because I do love this new figure. But anyway, guys, the articulation is basically the same. You know, you got double jointed elbows and legs. Pretty general articulation. However, it is hindered by the cape, so just be wary of that. But I do really, really recommend this version of Stryfe. And you know, I wouldn't normally say this, but I do prefer him if you did have the other Stryfe too, so you could kind of mix and match. And at the end, I'll actually have the hands of the old Stryfe on this guy. So stay tuned for that. But guys, we're going to get to our next figure. All right, on to the next figure. And it is a Zero, or Ambient Energy Dampening Actualization Model Atom Unit 0, which used to be a peacekeeping android that was enslaved by Stryfe, and now he acts as his bodyguard and teleporter through different dimensions and times and stuff like that. This figure is pretty easy to make, and I can kind of see Hasbro's mindset behind this. They had all these figures that they had to do a lot of custom tooling on, random, Pretty Boy, and I don't know, Stryfe had a little bit more, but they had to have a figure that they could be like, okay, you know what? Let's take a basic buck and let's turn it into a character. Who can we do? And I think it's a really cool one because it is Stryfe's teleporter, the guy that gets him from place to place and takes care of him. And it is Zero. This figure is very plain. He's solid white with a circle on his chest and a circle on his face. Nothing too crazy. I don't know which one. I know, what is it? The Age of Apocalypse Magneto is this body mold, or at least the chest, I think. I don't know what the original buck is for this guy. But what does he come with accessory wise? He does come with 2 karate chopping hands, so if you want him to look like he's running through the portal, that would be really awesome. And then of course he does come with the portal itself, which is just like the Doctor Strange portal. I do think it's appropriate. You just have a little spottage there, which I think is cool. I think the Doctor Strange portal is a little bit more on the orange and red side, but I think it's really neat. I think if you're going to be setting up any displays, this is absolutely essential to have, especially if Stryfe's going to be in it, and it looks really cool. So there's Stryfe standing beside Zero, and he's just towering over this basically 6-inch buck, which I think it looks really nice. Very standard articulation for Zero, but the only bad thing is every time I get one of these 5-packs, 3-packs, whatever, I always get something bad. And of course, Zero has like kind of a warped arm that I'm going to have to heat up and bend out. And I'm also concerned if this character does yellow in the future. Not sure if any of you guys have had any problems with these bleach white characters, or like the Fly that was bleach yellow. But it feels like if he runs into any dirt, he is going to he's going to wear it pretty well. But guys, this is Zero. We're going to move on to our last character, and then we're going to round out this review. Alright guys, this is the last figure in the 5-pack, and this is Random, or better known as Marshall Evans Stone III. But when he does transform into Random, he turns into this bounty hunter, you know, cool looking fella. When I first seen this guy in the promotional footage or pictures, I was like, man, who is this character? I've never heard of him, never seen him. And I was like, man, he's got an arm. Is this Bushwhacker from The Punisher? And I was like, I don't know. It doesn't, maybe not. And comes to find out that this is Random after a lot of digging, a lot more than you would think, you know. And it was really nice. The character itself does have some, I believe these are, maybe these, I think these legs, if I'm not wrong, I'm probably totally wrong on this, but the legs almost look like a part of them are from the, is it Korg Build-A-Figure? I might be wrong. Might be totally wrong, but they look a lot like the Korg Build-A-Figure legs. And I know the arm is completely new tooling. You could make a Bushwhacker. I think it's probably a little too big to be Bushwhacker, but I believe this is like kind of like a hand cannon. This guy is a bounty hunter when he's in this mode as Random. And as you can see, the paint looks really, really nice. He's like a really pale gray. And he does have a couple tattoos. He looks really neat. The jacket itself, it looks pretty good. And it doesn't really hinder any articulation on the arms. None of these characters have butterfly joints, so no fuss there. But the legs, though... No, yeah, a little bit. So as you can see here, the double jointed knees, they do kind of hinder because the back of the jeans, the plastic on that kind of cut off from the boot there. So you might not get the best articulation in the legs, but the character nonetheless is really cool. And this is the only character in the 5-pack to not come with any accessories, but I do imagine it is because of the tooling that they had to do on his arm. And maybe the boots, I don't know. This might not be the Korg's boots or legs. It just looks a lot like it. It could be completely new too. And, you know, Zero was just a buck, you know, one of the bucks that they repainted. So they had to put a lot of money into this guy. The head sculpt looks really neat. He does have sunglasses, has a 5 o'clock shadow. Again. Hasbro, you're doing awesome with your head sculpts. Please never go back to those ugly head sculpts, like especially like the 2013 Stryfe that we were just looking at. It looked hideous. But guys, I am really impressed by this 5-pack. If I was to say who is my favorite out of the 5-pack, ooh, it would be a toss-up between this guy and the new Stryfe. I think people were given a little bit of hate to this Stryfe from what I had seen. I think I had seen something about the paint as well in a couple of reviews, but the paint is pretty nasty. I did try to actually get the hands off from the 2013 Stryfe and had no luck. It literally felt like I was about to rip his arms off, so I stopped. So I might not be putting the sword in the hand of the new Stryfe that I got here, but I would have to say it's him or random here. I really love these two figures. The other figures I could do without. I don't have any Reavers. I don't really have a use for Vertigo. And Zero, if you got Stryfe, you could have them in there, but if you didn't, it's all right. But guys, do I recommend this 5-pack for $125? No, I do not. If you can find this for around the $75 range, 80 bucks, maybe, if you're really wanting these characters and you don't have a Stryfe and you need to complete that Reaver set, yeah, pick it up for about 80 bucks or so. Don't know if it'll ever go down to that. Maybe you'll have a warehouse sale at Hasbro. But see if you can score this guy solo, and then it might be worth it. But guys, this was my review of the X-Men Villains 5-pack. If you do like this content, please like and subscribe. There will be more Marvel Legends stuff on the way. I just picked up the who is it, Hyperion, and what's this other guy? Dr. Spectrum 2-pack. So I'll be reviewing that shortly, and yeah, so that's going to be in the works. But I'll see you guys next time on Pimp Daddy Destro. Take care, guys.